Hi, Albert. Can you hear me? All right. Okay, I'll just get going. I'll just get going on a couple of the screens. There you go. All right. That's it. All right, fire away with the questions. Yeah. Test 1 2. Okay. The hat. But I saw a player that has it matched. Okay. Yep. And what is the question? What is the question? How do I match it? I think you're talking about this one, right? You see my mouse? Are you talking about this one right here? The FOV stat? Okay, yeah, I think that's the better question. Yeah, how does the whole switch mechanic work? So it actually, okay, I think you have two questions. Let's go with the first one. You call it match. Basically you see every gear has this has an element on the FOV stat. In Eden's hat's case, it's fire, right? You see the fire, right? It means that only a fire ranger can activate the stat in this gear. And if you see this logos, it stands for intelligence. So only an intelligence gets the match. So if you want Eden hat's fourth gear to match your ranger, yeah, you need to match the same element or the same attribute. Does it make sense to you? So that's match. I'll only move on after this one makes sense, because this one is the basic. All right, so that's the matching. It's pretty straightforward. So only 7-star gears have the FOV stat matching. 8-star also. Eden hat is an 8-star, so 8-star has the 5th stat, right? So the 5th stat is basically instead of the element or the attribute, it's the skill. The ranger needs to have that specific skill. So is there an element prowess with water? Is there an element prowess with water? Okay. Actually, I think what you're actually asking is that actually some gears have element prowess and some gears don't. Only armors and accessories has element prowess. So I'll show you. So if you go into into an accessory, for example, let's look at a spider's nest. It's an accessory. And if you go into switch, you'll be able to check whether prowess is there. So I think your question is which type of gear has element prowess, because not all of the gears have element prowess. So usually it's only gears that has only gears with element attributes like wood, water, fire, light, and dark. Only these gears with element attributes have element prowess. There are gears that are not elemental attributes. They are, for example, this one. You see, this one is a strength. It's an attribute gear. It does not have element prowess. So if your question is there element prowess with all elements, the answer is yes. Every single element will have element prowess. Water, fire, wood, light, and dark. So this one is dark, for example, right? This one is dark. Only weapons don't have element prowess, except for one weapon. But yeah, here's an example. This is a 7-star weapon, right? And if you switch, you can't find element prowess. Okay, so for the head, the element prowess is fire. It has to be fire because it is following that gear's element. So the element that you see in the gear is basically that gear's element. All right, I'll let you digest it a little bit before I move on to switch. Yeah. See, that's probably like 30 minutes of texting. Can be done in like just 3 minutes of talking. Okay. So, yeah. So for switching, let's get into it. Switching, actually, what we talked about just now kind of pretty much covers what you can switch to. Switch is basically switching the gear's 4th stat. Correct. It only works with the same element. So Anya, you need to pair her with water or intelligence gear. Like this one's water, for example. This one's water, right? And then intelligence would be something like this one. Intelligence. It has an angel wing logo. Where are you? Right here, I think. Switch. Okay, where is it? Switch. Yeah. So switch. Yeah. Actually, it's pretty simple. Actually, what do you don't understand about switch? Can't really see it here, huh? So I gotta go into my gears. So switch is basically switching or changing the gear's 4th stat to whatever that you want within the list here. But I think you have a more specific question, so I'll just wait for your question. So the fixed option, what it means is that it stays on the stat that you already have selected, but it only switches the values. So this is basically another gacha. This is a gacha within the gear. A gacha to get different values, because you have minimum values and maximum values. That's right, it's a gacha. It's a gacha within the gear stat. So if you fixed it, you will not change the element. You will not change the stat, but you will maintain the stat. It's just that you are gachaing for a different value, which is why it costs 5 rubies. When it comes to gacha, right? You gotta remember the resource is quite limited. Also, it is limited to your. So for switching, it's the ancient tombs. For now, you won't feel it yet, but later on, I think tombs will start to become scarce when you are trying to, roll for the stat that you would need. This is why it's you used up all already. Okay, that's fine. You get more later because you don't really have any gears right now. But the point is that it's scarce. You got to use it wisely, and it's even that's what makes it so important for you to understand what are the top stats to prioritize. That's why it's so important to do that. You thought you were being smart. Don't worry, you already are, and it's okay to make a couple of mistakes. No harm done. No harm done. It's all good. Tombs are slightly easier to come by here. Yeah, for the hat. What did you say about the skill plus? Skill plus, basically, it will only activate when you put it on the ranger that has that skill. It needs to have that skill. So let's take an example. So there is a new interface to actually show this. It's pretty convenient, so let's check that out. So for example, let's say Eden's hat, right? Eden's hat. Okay. I actually can't show it to you. It's only visible on a gear that is not equipped. So let's take this one for example. If you were to click on your gear menu, right? Click on the gear that you have not equipped. You see this button right here, this green button, Skill Plus. If you go in and click on that, you can see all of the rangers that has that skill. So it will only activate on the rangers that has, in this case, for the 10.5 scarf, any rangers that skill that has N% area damage. So these rangers, they have the N% area damage right here. Okay, so for Eden's hat, it is skill use rate. So skill use rate. So for example, Shion has skill use rate, and when you put it on, when you put the gear on, and it matches and activates, you will see this green text appear in that ranger's skill description, right? You'll see that it adds an additional 10%. to the whatever that ranger has for that particular skill. So that's skill plus. Don't forget to watch your ads to get Anya tickets. Let's see if I get one right now. Damn, so who should I put Eden hat on then? Well, in your case, you don't really have any. Okay. This question, although it's straightforward, but you know this is where your team composition, your who has the best what is your priority. It's a little bit more complicated than the question, right? So let's help you out on that real quick. All right, look at that. Anya ticket 25%. Okay, so knowing that it only works on a fire ranger, well, technically you have 2 fire rangers right now, right? So the question is, in your circumstances right now, right? If I think about it, new account. Actually, right now, I think in your circumstance, the most important thing that your account looks forward to is gear gacha, because that's what you don't have right now, right? You have rangers already, right? It's a good start, right? You just need to wait for the subsequent months rangers. So in your circumstances, actually it doesn't really matter who you give it to, because you don't necessarily need to activate the 4th stat. It's not important right now, right? What's important for you is actually getting the gears. Yeah. And this is the typical problem with new accounts, because you know you don't really have many rangers and gears. You can't really so-called pick the best and get the best at the moment. You just have to do what you have. Do with what you have right now. All right, you just got the ticket. Nice. Because in any case, the 7 and 8 star gears are still very useful because of their stats, right? So again, you see, it's very important to get the understanding right. I always go back to the understanding. If you get the understanding right, you play the game better, right? What are the top 5 stats that are important, right? You still remember what are the top 5 stats that are important? That at least when you refer to the legend players, that's what they're using. Do you remember? Yep. So you see that actually you can pick them up as you observe what gears they use, and the 4th stat that they also select, right? Because the 4th stat is an active choice, unlike the first 3 stats, which are by default, right? Generally, you see that there's always mineral, prowess, mineral production cost. You mean, yeah? Deployment cooldown, sure hit rate, and dodge. You mean skill evade? Yeah, because evade, there is also evade, right? Normal evade, not skill evade necessarily. It's different. But yeah, mineral is number 1. Mineral is actually easily number 1. Mineral is easy number 1. Mineral production cost is easily number 1. So yeah, if you just remember the top 5 stats, and then 6 to 10, is debatable, but that's what differentiates a good player with the next better or worse player, right? That's what differentiates it. So right now, yeah, it doesn't really matter in your situation, I think. who Edenhead goes to, because both your Fire Rangers are not they're not DPS also. Actually, they're just role players right at the moment. They so air ambush, you don't really need to be you don't really need to gear up air ambush too much. If you notice, air ambush actually takes out most of the even well equipped flyer rangers. They can easily take it out. Yeah. As for Musketeer, it's Musketeer is just there to activate persistence. So actually here's a tip for you. Let me show you how I gear my Musketeer. Because you want your persistent to activate as soon as possible, right? You don't need your Musketeer to survive, basically. And what is more important is to actually just make him go fast, so that he blocks the spot as close as possible to their tower. That's the idea. So you give him all of the movement speed, and you cut down his mineral production cost at the same time. So this is technically the best free gear setup for Musketeer. So this is what I used before, and it's really good. He just runs really fast, and he just blocks the spot, right? So invincible belt for mineral production cost reduction. Boots gives you best of both worlds. You get the movement speed and the mineral production cost. And then weapon, I used Clover, because it also gives movement speed. So he gets an insane 114 extra movement speed increase. It's pretty fast, actually. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll just try it out with you, right? Just to give you an idea. Let's check it out. Let's see what we can do. Okay, here we go. Musketeer, and let's just throw in another, I don't know, anything that you're curious about. Maybe this is something nice for you to experience. Actually, anything that you are sort of curious about, like probably which ranger would do well. Maybe it's something that you target. I'll put in Musketeer because I want to show you his persistence and movement speed, right? So for you to consider optimizing him that way. Do air. Okay, air. I think I have 1 or 2 flyers. I don't have a good flyer, right? The best flyer is the Christmas Coney, but I don't have her. But I have okay, this one's usable. Okay, anything else that you want to see other than air? Maybe Kappa. Kappa is the one that messes up the whole meta right now, because basically because of this skill, right? The top 5 skill, if you think about it, skill evade is not is basically replaced, because this ability goes through skill evade. It ignores skill evade. You like AOT characters? No, I mean what I mean is any characters that you are like wondering, how do they work? You may want to target them to get them to, usually it's a light and dark character, because these are the characters that they come back, right? Unlike Collapse don't come back. Collapse are always new. So it's usually light and dark that are usually the meta characters, like Kappa, or for sure it's actually this one, Outlaw. Outlaw is actually easily the second best ranger right now. I'll just put them in there for the moment. Okay, let's go. So here we go. Oh, yours is pretty good. Yours is pretty good. Where's your flyer? There you go. Okay, so far the two flyers, yep, getting pushed back, right? Oh, okay, yeah. So in this case, no, it's okay, it's okay. I think what's happening is that it's just it's not deploying fast enough actually. So you can consider leveling Sally up, yeah. Or you can switch it back to Ultra, right? But the problem is you still don't have enough mineral production, mineral cost reduction, yeah. Let's see. Look at your Night Sally. So, okay. Yeah, it's okay actually. Look, it's doing its job. It's okay actually. Yeah, it's actually okay. It is actually okay. Yeah, actually, once you gear your other rangers properly, and reduce their mineral production cost even more, your Night Sally will come up, will deploy a lot more frequently. I think that's the main problem right now, because I think what's happening is that all your other rangers are eating up too much of your minerals. That's why you don't see your Night Sally come out even after 5 or 6 seconds, right? Yeah. So like this one is okay because you have already equipped them with a mineral production cost reduction. You just haven't leveled up the Eden's Head to its max. You gotta max it out first because you can reduce it by 10% more for minerals. Okay. See, I think your biggest the biggest problem right now with minerals on your team is Yor actually, because Yor is very expensive. Yor is very, very expensive. So you should consider swapping the Darkwing Purse. Yeah, you see, so okay, so actually, if you do Excel, there is something that you can actually do to calculate your mineral production cost actually. So I can show it to you how to do that actually. Let me show you actually. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What do you do? Okay. Well, I mean, I'll just give you the idea. It's up to you whether you want to do a spreadsheet or not, but at least you need to know how to calculate, whether you have enough minerals or not, right? What is enough? Because you can't just to a certain point you cannot eyeball it, right? You cannot just eyeball it. It's not enough. You gotta do a little bit of like a napkin math, So the first thing for you to know is that you should know at your level. So what is your level? Ultra Master 24, right? You can come here to something called Upgrade Book, right? And then this page right here tells you how many mineral production you produce per second for your player level. So Ultra Master 24 is basically close to 445 every second. So I think you every PvP you start out with 1005, right? 1005 or 2005, and then you add 445 every second. And from your rangers, you can actually already calculate every second how much minerals your ranger costs. So you just take the minerals divided by the ranger regeneration time. So that's So from your, okay, so the other thing you should know is that this mineral number right here, right? It's not the final, it's not the actual mineral, because this one doesn't take into account your treasures. Treasures actually also reduce the minerals. So let me just give you an example. If I were to show you here, let's take one example. Let's say kappa, right? Or your, since you're using your. You see my your here, right here in the Ranger menu, it shows 924, right? But if I were to go into the game, it's not 924. Because it doesn't take, it doesn't calculate the treasure reductions also. And there's one more thing which only advanced players know. So I'll show you this one first. So you see the minerals. It's not 924. It's 207. So always look at your actual deployment cost in game, right? Basically, outside is not reliable. The user interface is not really reliable. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that here is something that only advanced players know. When you activate a duplicate stat as your fourth stat. So in this case, for example, this gear already has mineral production cost, but I also have it here in the fourth stat. When you have two of the same duplicate stats in the same gear, actually the game mechanic reduces and multiplies the effect of that stat. Don't ask me why, but that's how the game works. It's actually, you could call it a bug, but it's something that is not consistent with math. Because theoretically, and if you do the math, after you subtract 30 and 18 and another 30 here, you're supposed to get this number, 924. But what you see in game, even before the treasures, right? It's supposed to be actually close to this number. So there's something with having a duplicate mineral production cost stat in the fourth in a gear's fourth stat. And it only applies to mineral production cost. The other stats does not calculate the same way. It only applies to mineral. So that's why if you look at most of the legend players, you see that they always have that mineral production cost as a fourth stat somewhere. Every ranger will have it, so that it gets very cheap to deploy, right? So let's look at this. Yeah, it's right there, mineral production cost. So this one does not have it, right? Another ranger, it's probably either here or here. Yep, there you go, mineral production cost. So if you do that, so your mineral production cost would be very low, basically, right? Like you saw my team, everyone's mineral production cost is you get it below 300. That's then you can go above diamond. So that's a quick hack towards making your team your rangers gear. Always make sure that you have a mineral production cost as your duplicate. But that gear needs to have a mineral production cost, because there are some gears that they don't have mineral production cost, right? Then it does not work. It does not work. For example, most of them are like Leonard gears, like this quick belt, or you probably already gotten the shoes, right? I think you probably have a shoe by now, or you will be getting one as a free player after logging in a couple of days, right? So here, if you change this to mineral production cost, if you don't have the mineral production cost reduction in the first three stats, it will not work the same way. Yeah, it needs to be a duplicate stat. Okay. All right. So what were we talking about before that? Yeah. I think you want to know about stats, right? Yeah. We kind of sidetracked a bit, but yeah, it's that's what you need. Yeah. So yeah, calculate the mineral production cost, right? You can you can add them up, calculate it, right? Get it all as low as possible, right? So that you feel like you don't have to wait for a ranger to deploy. Then you're good. Then I think your Night Sally will not be a problem anymore. Cause clearly in the replay just now, I don't see it being deployed every 6 seconds as it's supposed to be, right? It just stops, right? Of course, the F2P doesn't have that glitch. No. Actually, it doesn't matter whether you're free to play or not. Everybody can achieve that kind of gear configuration. Okay, what's next? Isn't there also a mineral discount for Spy X? I think you're referring to the buff. You are referring to the buff. It's basically a collab buff. Yeah, every month where the rangers release on that month, they will get this buff. Yeah. So it's actually smarter to try to take into account what if the ranger does not have the buff in the next month, which is which is actually when it really matters. Yeah. Lots of people running Night Sally. Yeah. Basically because it is the best free air ambush, and it's okay, and it is honestly sufficient. It is more than enough. It is more than enough. Most people don't really try to invest too much into air ambush. Yeah. Of course, if you go to the legend levels, it's not the same. That's where you need like guys like this, like the Skater James. But even in the legend levels, actually, most of them also use a Night Sally actually here. Actually, I am curious too, so let's take a quick look. I believe so. Let's take a quick look here. Where is it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Not many, but up till Master 2, eh? Okay. So I think they will be running Ultra actually. Let me just check. Yeah, look at that. Ultra, yeah, because they would want the lower deployment cooldown. Yeah. I also like Sally because she's part of the OG line. Yeah, that's right. Sally, Moon, and Brown. Sally, Moon, Brown. Most of the time when they make a meta ranger, yeah, in light and dark, it's always Sally. It's either Brown. Usually it's Brown and Coney. Usually it's Brown and Coney. Well, you just got started, man. What are you talking about? What kind of fatigue? You just got started. This is the first month, collab month, right, for you? Oh, okay. Actually, how many games are you playing right now? How many games are you running right now? How many? How many is a lot? And is Line Rangers the most interesting one for you right now? Oh, Clash of Clan. Okay. Fortnite, I see. Oh man, there's a lot of games. Is Line Rangers taking up most of your attention right now? uh, CR, okay. I don't even know some of these games that you mentioned, except for maybe I can guess. Fortnite, I know. COC sounds like Clash of Clans. Puzzle and Dragons, yeah. Oh, Pogo, okay, Pokemon Go. Wow, there's a lot of games, man. So where does Line Ranger sit amongst all these games? Some of yeah, just logging in, right, to collect rewards, login rewards. Lion Ranger is top right now. Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. So actually, yeah. I think you have some more questions, right? Some more stuff that you're working on. I should just keep one screen on your account so it's a bit easier to see. Guess how many hours you have. You mean on Line Rangers? How many hours you've put into Line Rangers? Is that your question? How many hours you have? Yeah, I'm not sure, but you've started like probably a week or 2 weeks, right? Two weeks probably. Well, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 14 days. Let's say you sleep 12 hours, close to 8 hours. 100 hours? Actually, do you even time yourself? It's actually funny how you can even keep track of how many hours you have. 1 week. Oh wow, okay. Yep, that's dedication right there. That's good. You know, I also noticed that don't you have moon wands? Moon wands. Why are you giving a guardian bow? Because guardian bow is physical attack. You should give your Anya some like a moon wand. You know, like this moon wand. You have them. You have them. Moon magic wand. Yep. Anyway, this is the best 6-star gear for intelligence at the moment. Yeah. Because physical attack just doesn't do anything for intelligence ranger basically. Because most of their attacks is on magical, not physical. You see this? Yeah. The rate is only applied to the physical. Yeah. Whereas the bulk of her damage is actually here. But of course, Anya is not even a DPS to begin with. So actually, how do you know it's a DPS character? Actually, you need to look out for damage multipliers in their skill. So you notice that the reason why Anya is not a DPS is because she doesn't have something like this. See? Attack, multiply a certain percentage. This is a skill multiplier, a damage multiplier, so that makes it a DPS. That's why in a way Yuri can DPS more than Anya even though his attack is lower. It's because of the skill. So you gotta take that into account, into understanding how you identify a DPS. And why is Yuri not good? So this is a rabbit hole, but I'm just gonna give you a small little glimpse, right? A small little glimpse. Right now, what makes a meta, right? Apart from the stats, right? Most of the new rangers always get better stats. Is that to put it simple, you need to land hits. You need to land attacks, skill attacks, or even hits on your opponent in PvP, right? To take them out. And there's usually one or two things that usually goes in the way of this of taking down the rangers. I need to show it to you here. So you notice that actually quite a few rangers, they have skills that rides like this. It creates a shield. So what does this mean? This is actually, it's basically invincibility. The moment they have this shield up, no matter what lands, the ranger is not affected. Let's not talk about Kappa. Yeah, don't talk about Kappa first. Kappa is special, right? It's very different. It changes the whole game. But you need to understand this big bulk of the game first, which is shield, invincibility. Maybe this side shows it the best. Yeah. Let's see. Taichi. Shield. No. Look here. Invincible, right? So it doesn't say it here, right? So that's why this site is good, because it looks into the game data, right? If you have invincible, right, and that skill cast, like, it makes all your other rangers on the ground invincible for that duration. Basically, yeah, that's why you can't take down a team. So why am I bringing this up? It's because meta rangers, they usually have skills that can cancel enemy invincibility. This is what you need in a ranger skill to be meta. You need to cancel invincibility and shields. The PvP in hard mode has those bubbles. What bubbles? Yeah, but anyway, back to the point. Yeah, you need this is the basic thing to have, right? For a meta ranger, you need to be able to cancel enemy invincibility, or else you just can't take out any of the rangers when the shields go up. Right? So what does that tell you? When you look into your Anya, right? That's why she's meta, right? Because she has cancel invisibility, but she cannot damage, right? Your also has it. So anyway, that's a quick point right there. That's one of the many things to look up, but that's the basic of how do you also identify meta rangers apart from stats. They do that. It doesn't feel like it. They do what? You mean they do invincibility? They cancel it? Oh yeah, it's actually very subtle. You can't really see it. That's why it's either the ranger just dies or it stays there. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You can't really see it. That's the problem with the game engine, right? So maybe let me just show you. I think you need to see a replay to. You need to do it in slow motion, right? Oh, main stages are different. We're just talking about PvP here. Main stages are different. Most of the the monsters in main stages, most of them, they don't have shields. We are just talking about PvP. We are just talking about PvP. Okay, see, so you can see here that well, okay, these bubbles are not the skill shield. These are different. These are abilities. These are abilities that I'll show you actually. It come out again. Those are abilities. Those are, let me show you. I think I have here. Those are what you call super shields. That's the bubble. This is the bubble you're talking about. This is this bubble. This golden bubble right here, this yellow bubble. Yeah, that's the bubble. Super shield. Kappa goes through that shield, by the way. Okay, anyway, it's very subtle, yes. So yeah, it's very subtle. So there you go. Here you go. You can see boss about to make his skill. Boss is usually the first one to look out for the skill, because boss, that's the reason why he's number 2 right now, right behind Kappa. But the moment he comes out and the moment he fires his skill, you know, everything just vaporizes, right? So here you go. Let's take a quick look. So he's gonna fire his machine gun, and probably some of my characters would die, just like that. So if my characters don't die, that means that skill evade works. Skill evade works, right? You see, he just fired it. None of these rangers were taken out, because if they were taken out, you will see this little ghost animation, right? Or they would just fall down. That's how you know they've been hit. Right, that one's been hit. Coney's been hit. He's been hit. So if you don't see your characters dying too much, that means that's a good sign. Skill evade rate and skill resistance rate is working. This game most of the time is just skills killing, right? Except for Kappa, when he comes in, he just changes the whole meta. He's the only one with normal attacks taking people out, because if you realize, most of the time when your rangers don't use skill, when your rangers don't use skill, the opposing team will always stay alive. That's how big of a difference skill damage is compared to normal attacks. So what's the invincibility? What does it look like? So actually, good question. You cannot really see it, actually. You cannot really see it. So the only way to tell is when, because this invisibility, these are buffs, right? So you can only see if the ranger's buff, there's a logo, usually there's an icon that appears above a ranger if it gets buffed, right? So you need to kind of memorize which rangers have what buff. Yeah, that's the only way to tell. Like, for example, you see this Gintoki, you see this, you know Gintoki, right? Gintoki, he's the previous collab from Gintama. Go over the difference between invisibility and the bubble. The bubble is an ability. The bubble is an ability, not a skill. This part clear? That's it. It's as simple as that. The bubble is an ability. It activates based on whatever conditions it's written. Different abilities have different conditions. Go over skill versus ability. Okay, skill is something that the ranger needs to cast, right? So you need to pay attention to skill use rate. So you have skill use rate 1 and 2. 1 is for the first skill, which is usually on the left. So they need to cast the skill. They need to use it. Ability, you don't need to use it. You don't need to cast it. It is usually activated by default when the rangers deploy. And different abilities do different things. Oh, you haven't seen that stats? Oh my goodness, this is the basic, bro. This is the basic. This is the basic. Well, welcome to finally welcome to Line Rangers, because everything that you're supposed to know is here. Ah, man. Anyway, some of the top 5 stats are here. Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's about the same list. Yeah. This is where most of the analysis happens. Yeah. You can do it similarly on the site, on the website, that Larico. Larico is really good. Yeah, Larico is really good. So you can compare it, especially when you go into each specific Ranger page. Yeah, it's all here. It's good. Okay, so where do you want to continue? No worries, just ask it. Yeah, switching. Yeah. What's the question? It keeps the Leo that you fuse to it? What do you mean by it keeps the Leo? What do you mean by it keeps the Leo? So like if I fused 3 Leo to Ultra, Anya, and switch it to Hyper, does the Leo go back to 1? Leo? What do you mean by Leo go back to 1? Leo? Are you talking about the Leonard points? Are you talking about Leonard points? When you say Leo, are you talking about... Oh, okay. Bro, you gotta use a proper sentence, man. Leo also means Super Leonard. Okay, in any case, Leonard points... No. Leonard points are always maintained. They don't change. And here is the proof of that. So yeah, Leonard points do not change when you switch or level. It will always be there. Just don't sell it. Yeah, just don't sell it or use it to fuse with a different Ranger. Then your Leonard points will always stay the same. You see, if I switch this guy right here, the Leonard points will still stay at 100 at whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, next question. No, when you switch, the level does not decrease. You only switch between Ultra and Hyper. The level only restarts when you go to the next stage of the level. Meaning if you go from Ultra or Hyper into 9 stars, then you restart at 1. But if you're in Ultra or Hyper, when you switch between Ultra and Hyper, the level does not change. There's only 3 levels, but there's only 3 stages for now. Yeah, right. Three stages of levels, right? The 8 star in this column, the Ultra and Hyper 8-star and the 9-star. They don't decrease, so don't worry about it. Wouldn't it be better if I Ultra Sally and give it Ultra Leo cause it's better so it's at 200? Yes, correct. That's what I was telling you before. Because Ultra Lennarts are easier to come by. Yes, Ultra Super Lennarts are easier to get. Therefore, it's always smarter and more resource efficient if you max it using the Ultra, and then only switch it to Hyper. Correct. Hyper Lennarts, basically you just save it for light and dark, because light and dark characters can only Hyper, they cannot Ultra. Here I can show you to you here. When you get a light and dark character, you notice that there is no Ultra option, Ultra Evolve option. Right? Look at this side by side. So yes, it is. Don't use your Hyper Lennarts on wood, water, and fire. Don't do that. When you say Sally, who are you talking about actually? Are you talking about the knight? Your air ambush? I assume so. That's your only Sally, right? What are you feeling bad on right now? I don't understand. What are you feeling bad on? No, actually for now you don't have to switch it back. It's fine. It's okay to keep her here as a Hyper, but when you want to level, okay, I think I get what you're saying now. When you want to level max, increase the max level of Knight Sally, yes, then switch it back, and then only you use the Ultra on her. But for now, you shouldn't spend your Ultra on Knight Sally. All of your Ultra should go to Anya, right? Because you haven't maxed her out yet. You 14 to go. That's probably like next month. And next month, maybe you might need to focus on light or dark. Yeah. So don't worry about night right now. Just keep her at 140 is okay. Okay. Yeah, I see. Darkwing Purse. Yeah. Try to equip. Okay, actually, since your timing of Christmas gearing is hopefully you get some good Christmas gears. If you get bells, yeah, bells will already reduce the mineral production cost, right? So you might need to definitely switch out all of your Darkwing Purse. Yeah. Or if you have this, if you have this one, Invincible Belt, this is also really good to reduce mineral production costs, right? You need to get them within the range of between like 400 to 700. Yeah. Actually, 1,000 is way too high. Just think about it, right? If you remember the chart, if you remember the how much minerals you produce per second, you just think about it. You don't really have much to play with actually, right? This one is taking 1,000, right, every 13 seconds, and you have 4 more rangers, right? That's why it's not coming out as much as you need it to be. I think the moment your ranger comes out more, you do much better in PvP. Yeah, you do much better for sure. Especially Yor is crazy expensive. She's really expensive. She's no joke. She is easily taking out your whole team's mineral usage right now. Your is let's just say you use what 1,200 after treasure, right? 4.5. For every second your needs 266. 266, man. Albert, 266. That's already more than half of your player production. So you only have half left for the other 4 rangers. That's why they're not coming out. Yours is taking up most of it. Yeah, go ahead. There ain't no tough questions, man, I think. Hyper versus Ultra versus Max. Okay, what do you want to talk about there? When to Ultra and when to Hyper? When to Ultra? When to Ultra? When to Hyper? Ah, okay. It depends on what your consideration is. There's a lot of considerations. Any specific consideration that you have in mind? Like just now we were talking about what is the easiest way to max the level, Ultra. In that consideration of, which is easiest, it's Ultra. You also said something about mineral cost for Ultra. Yes, mineral cost is lower for Ultra characters. Check this out. Check out the mineral production rate here. You see this? Ultra costs more, but deploys faster. So it's okay to stay. I was saying it's okay to stay at Hyper because it costs less. You get this point? Also, someone said Hyper is more than Ultra for the most part. For PvP, yes, Hyper is better. Why? Because Hyper has the another ability. Ultra does not, right? Hyper has the ability, Ultra does not. So you see your for example, she does not have the her deployment freeze activated. So for PvP, you want that extra ability. If that ability is good. For example, deployment freeze is very, very good for PvP. So it's usually Hyper is usually better for PvP. Don't worry, that go through one question at a time, right? I'm just afraid that you might not be able to absorb a point before I move on to the next. Did you understood the first one that I said, right? Between Ultra costing more, Hyper costing less, but deploying faster compared to Hyper. You get that point? What do you mean by you don't understand? Which part do you understand? So the question is, so I was responding to, you said something about mineral cost for Ultra. Basically Ultra costs more. Simple point. It's a very simple point. Ultra costs more. All Ultra forms of every ranger cost more than their hyper forms. when you have a lower cooldown, you need more mineral costs because you're coming out more frequently. You're deploying more frequently. When you have a lower cooldown, it costs even more because you need to use mineral more often. And when you're in ultra form, it is more expensive to deploy compared to the hyper form. In other words, hyper is cheaper deployment most of the time. Ultra is more expensive. Ultra is more expensive to deploy, but you can spam if you have the minerals. Most of the time you don't. Yes, lower cooldown, yes, but only if you have the minerals. Which you don't, which you don't, because your other rangers in your team will use it. Are also using your player mineral, right? So you have to look at the balance of how much all of the rangers in your teams are eating. And I usually calculate it something like this. It's actually quite simple, right? Well, it's spreadsheets, but you know, it is spreadsheets. You got 5 rangers in the team, right? This is your mineral production rate, and for you, let's just do a quick example. You are level 24, so 445 every second, right? 445, right? So this is how much minerals that you cost for each of your rangers, and this is the cooldown, how long it takes for your ranger to deploy, right? If you have these plotted down, you will know how many minerals per second that your rangers will take. So you can actually sum them all up, and you basically want to ensure that whatever that the total minerals per second for your team is less than your mineral production rate. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So anyway, back to the point of the ultra versus hyper. Yeah, you got it. So you covered 2 points just now, like how expensive or how cheap it is in terms of minerals, and actually how effective they are in PvP. Actually, that's 2 different points. Math is helpful everywhere, man. Okay, this is what I need. You want to go back to the hyper and ultra? Like, what was the question? Doesn't seem to have a specific question yet, basically. Was that the tough question, by the way? All right, what's next? And I think I gotta hop off in 10 minutes. Yeah. Try the hard question. What is it? I'm quite curious about it. Actually, I think generally speaking, what you're thinking about now, there is no obvious, there is no obvious answer. You gotta test it out. Basically, there is no obvious answer. I think you've come close to that point of the game where most of the times you need to test it out, what works best for you. But you just need to understand the mechanics of the game. Yes. Different types of team building. Actually, this is the beauty of the game. There is no type of team building, right? Role of the Rangers, maybe yes, but it's quite simple: DPS, support, and tank. There's only three types: DPS, support, and tank. Support is losing its place because normally DPS and tank, DPS is still the main one. Yeah. Nowadays, depending on how you think about the meta of the game, actually tank is also quite hard to think about because of what Kappa is doing to the game. Yeah. So roles are not really that important nowadays. DPS basically, you just go DPS. What is the goal that my team should build towards a certain play style? I think keep it simple. Go for DPS. Figure out how to take out your opponent as fast as possible. And you can do it many ways. Like Anya's charm is one way of taking it out, because you can just charm your opponent's rangers. They turn around and then you can start hitting their tower. Right? That is also possible. For example, using other games I play. That's the problem with this game. It's quite hard to apply from different games. Yeah, I don't think it's possible. But you gotta test. I think you just gotta test. Yeah, you just gotta test. The objective is still the same. You take out the tower on the other side. So there's no like different meta team composition. No, that. Not like what you're thinking of, right? Because I think you're probably coming from the mindset of the different games. Actually, here's a good time to. You remember this? You remember this spreadsheet? Not spreadsheet. It's a tier list. Do you remember this tier list? I think I shared it to you before. Overwatch? Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, this tier list, especially the PvP tier list, right? This is a good start. This is a good start to reference. So let's take a look at for a second. You see the way they even do it, right? They don't do it by roles, right? There's no tank. Like what is the meta tank or what or the meta DPS? They just everything is DPS basically. Put it simple. Everything is DPS. You got confused because you assumed that there will be roles. Remove that assumption, because that is not necessarily. It's a lot simpler. It's a lot simpler than that. There can be a little bit like Yor is technically tanking because she goes to the front. So here's a way to think about it, right? So this game is 2D, right? This game is 2D. You just need to make it to the other side to take out the tower, correct? That's the main goal of the PvP, right? You go from left to right and take out the tower. And along the way, you just have to take out their rangers. Right? So that's the goal. And when you think about that, it means that positioning is important, right? You need to be able to move from left to right. So the question is, what can help you move from left to right? Number one, you take out the rangers, then you can start moving, right? Because if you don't take out rangers, they'll block you. Your rangers will have to attack them, right? Number two, movement speed. Well, you technically wouldn't run all DPS with no tank. Let me give you an example. If you put a flyer in, and the other player does not have air ambush, well, technically, it still meets the objective of the game, right? It goes to the other side and take out the tower. You can actually, you can run all DPS because there are teams that just, they just take out all of the rangers, and it doesn't matter whether you have tank or not, because you just need to move from left to right. Okay, here's the third point, right? In thinking about moving from left to right, some rangers, they activate their skill faster than others, right? So, and because skills are basically quite skills are basically almost close to one hit right now, right? If you notice, most of the time whenever a skill goes off from a meta ranger, it's usually one hit. It's not like 1 or 2 or 3 times that it takes, even with a tank character. And because it one hits, the meta of the game is making sure that who lands their skills first. So some rangers' skills goes off faster than other rangers. Actually, there's a very nice summary on this. Let me show you real quick. They won't make a 3D version, yeah. Actually, they have the new game from Line Rangers is Line Rangers Idol. You probably heard of it. They are already doing something like that, but it's not really 3D. It's kind of 3D, but they're still sticking to 2D. You may have seen it. It's not available in my country, so I couldn't try it out, but do check it out. You may like it. Line Rangers Idol. Where is it? Yeah. There it is. It looks something like this. But what I wanted to show you just now. Give me a second. Some skills cast faster than others, right? So here you go. Here's I remember Qiu Yin. By the way, do you speak Chinese? Do you speak Chinese?好很好，这是台湾人的影片。You see here they are trying to calculate they're trying to time how long does it take for the skill to release. So some ranger skills come off much faster than others, right? So that's why it's important to look at the skill. Oh,你是台湾人? It's good, it's good. But you're born and raised in Canada, right? I assume. Okay, good. But yeah. Anyway, back to the point. It can be purely DPS. It can be. Also, because you deploy rangers so often, you gotta think of the game is a little bit different if you think about it that way, right? Not like the other games where it's usually just one hero, and if the hero goes out, it goes out. This game deployment is continuous. So 1 or 2 seconds after, or 3 seconds after, the next ranger is coming from behind and unleashing another skill. So in a way, DPS is a more important aspect of the game, and it kind of makes tanking a little bit harder to think about, because how do you tank multiple waves of DPS, right? That's why it's all about positioning, right? So there's some skills like this is where skills come into place, like yours pushback, or there are some rangers that jump over your rangers. They call it advance. Those skills will make a difference actually, yeah, because they change the position of, from moving left to right. That ranger, the Lopo, the ginseng root, the ginseng brown. he throws rangers in front. There's no English or Mandarin content. That's right. Yeah, charm is something that, you know, I think most of the people, most of the players are still observing. 他们还在研究啊。Your PVA strategy, you play stall characters like Mas and with fun. Yeah. Probably not in this game. Yeah, this game is a lot more straightforward. Move left to right as fast as possible. There's not enough time to think about it. But I think you're getting a nice hang of it. Yeah. It's good thing. It's good thing that you asked what you asked in the past 30 or 40 minutes, because it's not the same type of game basically. Yeah, it's not the same type of game. Actually, I already have already. Move left to right. What helps you move left to right? That's the game. And it can get pretty complex because there's a lot of stats, there's a lot of different mechanics to consider. Yeah, that's what you should look out for when you play the game. What helps you move from left to right, and what helps you with positioning, right? Positioning in the sense of moving left to right. It's a lot simpler. You make your run. Yeah, exactly. That's probably what charm does. Yeah, that's right. If it lands. Anya's remember we were talking about how long it takes for the skill to fire. Anya takes a pretty long time. So before she even fires off the skill, she's actually dying already. That's the problem with Anya right now. Correct. Sure hit rate. Correct. Sure hit rate to make sure that the skill lands, the charm happens. Yes. And for Anya, actually, you see right now it only covers 2, right? And that's why her talent is very important. Her first talent, you get 2 more. So every you look at your skill cooldown. So charming is star catch arrow is the second skill, right? So for every Anya, every 7 seconds she tries to charm 4 characters. So try to ask yourself, every 7 seconds, how many rangers are being deployed from the opposing team? Can you charm the amount of rangers that are deployed from the opposing team within that same time? Yeah. So that's one way to look at Anya's skill. But she does help for sure. That's where the test comes in. Probably better than Yor's talent. What Yor does right now is that actually she's not just a tank, but because she's a new ranger, her stats are so high that she's actually quite close to hitting as hard as the previous DPS. Let me give you an example. You see this guy, Tayo, and I'll show you Yor on the other side. Where is Yor? Oh, I can't show you on the other side. How do I do this? Let me do this. Because she hits so hard, she can tank and DPS to a certain extent. So she pushbacks also right now, right? So she is actually, in my opinion, much more impactful than Anya. Yeah. Anya basically doesn't really get too much of a chance to really make an impact because she takes too long, and her range is not that far. Yeah. So where is that previous ranger? Let's give you that example. So let's just say you go back a couple months back, right? Yeah, here, Tayo. Let's take Tayo. Just look at the attack difference, right? So 22,000. 88,000. Okay, here Tayo is clearly much higher, but I think I need to show you a maxed out attack, because her maxed out attack, because she's a strength. Usually strength characters don't really have. Sorry. I was selecting a wrong level. This one is more comparable. 9-star to 9-star, right? Yeah. Look at her attack. It's basically almost on par with agilities, which is not supposed to happen. Like if you compare strength to strength, if you look at the previous strength characters, like maybe this one's good. This one's you see him around a lot. He's almost meta right now. 83,000. Oh, actually he's pretty high, so maybe not a good comparison. Let's go far back a little bit. Gintoki, yeah, here you go. You see, the attacks are not supposed to be that high for strength, but they have increased the newer ranges attack stats quite a lot, and the HP is so much different. I don't know. I feel like my Yor is also. Most of the time it's because of your gearing, and it depends on who your opponent is, right? Maybe your opponent has good gears, right? It's hard to tell. Maybe your opponent is it has fire rangers, which will take out Yor much easier, right? Because of element compatibility. All paths lead to gears, correct. 对了啦。对了啦。Okay. Anyway, good stuff, Albert. I got to hit the road. It's really fun helping you out. I think I can see the gaps, but it's closing. All the gaps are slowly closing, right? In the understanding. Yeah. Just remember the top 5 stats. That is like the fundamentals. No worries, man. Let's keep going. This game is fun. Nah. I don't think you'll be able to find too hard of the questions. I may have a couple of other guys also coming into the live to ask questions. So I'll try to, because generally you guys ask quite similar questions actually. Yeah. All right. Have a great. It's what time is it for you over there? PS9. It's oh yeah, it's nighttime for you guys, right? All right. Good night. FAQ, yeah, it'll be here. The FAQ is right here actually in this live chat. All right. Catch you later, Albert.